Greetings, everybody. Patrick here, have Cheetah will view 8 questions with. Welcome to the show. Yeah, I'm just a tad late here, so let me just get a couple things squared away, and then we're off to the races. All right. Hey, Charles. No, you're not early at all. Not really. 2:45. Ooh, it's a little chilly here today in southeastern Michigan. Overcast, gray, um, a little bit chilly. Supposed to get some rain later on today, um, and make for an interesting night. Supposed to get rain also tonight, overnight as well. All right, so today we have a doubleheader for you. We have two shows for us. We have this show here, we're talking to our good friend the Bat, aka Lucard, and we will be talking to actress JoJo Monkey 8 o'clock tonight. Then tomorrow night we have a round table for you. We're going to have a round table featuring three podcasters. Um, uh, David Beckmeyer will be here from Outrage Overload. Uh, oh, the Bat. Oh, the Bat's famous. Yeah, let's see. It's like let's see. There's the Bat and the Cat, the Bat, the Cat, and the Gnat. Chat with the Bat. The Bat was Vincent Price. All sorts of things with the Bat. There was the Beyond with the Bat. Um, let's see. American Bat. He possesses great skills because I don't know anybody else that can hang upside down and sleep. So that's a skill. Yeah, the Bat in the Belfry, the Bat in Louisiana. Uh, uh, yeah, we're gonna have fun when the Bat does when he comes on here. When he flies on in and yeah, it'll be fun. Let's see. So yeah, all right. So we're gonna have some fun here now. Right. Oh, one good thing I get when I interview a YouTuber is um and more importantly, a good friend. Um, I feel it's a lot more relaxing. The pressure isn't on as much as you do when you interview like an actor or a producer or a novelist or a fellow podcaster. Not a tuber per se. Um, so it's but tomorrow night, the pressure probably will be on just a little bit because we're gonna have some fun with this, but we're also gonna be we're gonna be roundtable in it. Um, we're gonna have David Beckmeyer from Outrage Overload Overload will be with us. Uh, uh, Dana Kennedy from Peril and the Normal Guys will be here with us. And then a guest that we had a couple of weeks ago, but I invited him to come back, and that will be Ross Yerger. Will be back from Up the Middle and Yerg's Radio. So he will be here. He will be here as well on tomorrow night. We will be chopping it up for a couple of hours. I'm going to be talking about about various issues and that was been going on. This is something I want to try to do for a minute, and I want to see if we can do it. And if we can, then I might try to do something like this once a month. It'll be outside the normal 3 days that we normally do the show. We might come and do it like on a Sunday night or whatever. We might even move it over and put it back underneath the Midnight Society. I haven't figured that out yet, but we're gonna have a roundtable tomorrow, and that will be at 8 o'clock as well. Let's see. This guy drives me bats. See, Charles. Yeah, Charles was a great guest. That was yeah. We had a lot of fun. Um, uh, and we also had a lot of fun with Matt. In fact, I think the last time I've been here for a doubleheader was the last time was last time I was up here this early was because I was talking to Matt. Now we were a guest on Mike's show. Did you see that? And that was a lot of fun as well. That was a fun show. I have to talk about that for a minute. So Mike does a show called he does a show too. Um, you know he does 60 episodes. He'll have a panel of guests come on there, and they'll talk for an hour, a little over, maybe or a little more over an hour. Oh no, the bat is here. That we'll have to hang on to that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, share us out if you can, if you will. Um, if you have questions for Al, start. You can go ahead and start dropping them. But let's go get Mr. Al Lucard, aka the Bat. That's right. He's ready.
Got the bats. I got the
Look at
bats.
that. That's the Bat. Well, we have been up since the midnight tonight. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's right. The sign. That's it. It's almost like you remember the Flintstones. Remember they used to have that secret handshake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The boy or the Order of the Buffalo, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was like the Order of the Buffalo Wings, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
It's about right. Yep.
Oh my gosh. So this is going to be one of the most relaxed hour and a half that we've had here on Eight Questions with Chat with the Bat. Yeah, you could almost run. You could almost call this a Chat with the Bat right here.
Almost.
Almost.
And I can still do this. I still have access.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, so you could actually run. You could actually put this on your channel, can't you?
I probably could. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where they have the little beep there, you slide the button over there, and it's like both channels can access it. I think. I don't know if
Yeah.
we have.
You like have to okay it, and it's this whole thing. Yeah. But like once you okay it, it's fine. Like it's no
I
big
only
deal.
did that one time. The only thing I was like, I would do that more, except that like the only problem I had was uh like they split because whoever is hosting the show, they should get the views because that's theirs, but they split it up so the main host gets the views and then the guest gets the views, and it's like I don't mind going on, but I want the whoever's the creator, they should be able to get the I know it sounds sort of selfish, but I think they should be able to get the views.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. Oh, look, everything. I think that we're back. Um, Look at that. See,
We're
the
back for
Midnight
today. That's
Society.
right.
Yeah, the Midnight Society at this time of the day. That's right. Uh,
It's always midnight somewhere, Casey.
yeah, it is. It is always, and we are the best of society. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, I totally forgot about that. That you have access. Gosh, but you know what? That's funny because we've been trying, and I've been trying to talk to Al for a while now about trying to do something. We couldn't. We were doing the Midnight Society on Sundays, and then you got promoted out of it
Yeah.
because you got promoted at work. And again, congratulations for that. And how's that been? How have you enjoyed your promotion?
Oh, I'm loving it actually. Yeah, I really enjoy what I do, and uh, it's like just kind of like another level. So I'm so busy like all the time.
Have they asked you, or have you felt any pressure about them sending you back to school to get your master's, or are you pretty much?
That's really more on me. It's not basically. I'm at the point now where I'm at the top uh, of where I can be right now without the master's degree. So I'm heavily thinking about doing it so I can keep moving up. But yeah, so for anybody that doesn't know, I work at a library. I am an actual librarian, believe it or not.
So,
But I'm one without the degree, so I'm like the lowest librarian there is, basically. Um, but
well, you don't have a
but
master's
before that, I
degree.
wasn't even a librarian. I was just an associate, and I moved up to being a librarian.
Well, I was gonna say it's not like you don't have a degree. You do have a degree. You just don't have a master's yet. You
I
have
don't have the library degree, right?
well,
Correct. Yeah.
but you have but you, what university did you graduate from anyway?
University of New Orleans. I actually have a film degree.
Uh, uh, so Al is a privateer, everybody.
I am, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
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 there you go. Yeah.
yeah. But you didn't think I knew that, huh?
Hey, look, my
See,
drink matches your
I
matches your
prepare.
stuff.
I prepare for the small things here.
Yeah, there you go.
Uh, let's see. Let's see. Everybody saying hi to each other. Cool shirt, Al. What's your shirt?
I got Halloween.
Okay. All right. All right.
Your favorite movie there?
You know what? I don't know. You know what? Yeah. Okay. So, okay. So, I'm doing 31 days of Halloween, right? I'm
Mhm.
doing 31 days of Halloween, and no one has walked over there to see my post for today. Nobody. Nobody's walked over. I've never
Damn.
had a post. I've never had a post be up this late, and never had even so much as a view on it.
Hmm.
I put two books. I reviewed a couple of books. They're by John. See, I was thinking in your honor. I was thinking, look, I have a librarian coming onto the show today. What better way than to honor him and to say, hey, you're important, than do a book review. But people here at the Tube are going like, yeah, yeah. uh, so
But
anyway,
to be
so,
fair, though, the YouTube algorithm and the notifications are abysmal.
oh God, yes.
In
Oh God.
fact, I marked this show, and I still have yet to get a notification.
Wow. Did you say notify me?
Yeah,
Damn. Yeah,
it
that's
is. It's
it's
wacky, man.
it sucks.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the 31 days of Halloween. I tried it once before. I failed miserably. I got I got I did 18 out of the 31 days. So I said,
Mm.
okay, I'll try it again. I'll try it again. But this time I'm gonna do it smart. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it in September or October. See, before I was trying to do it one a day during the day. Like if I hadn't made one yet, I was going to do one every day, and that was just like impossible. I just got swamped that I couldn't finish it.
Oh
So
yeah.
I decided to do things a little early. So I did that, and okay, you watch what you do. You hope that because you know how you and I are. We like watching the obscure shit. Okay,
Mhm. Oh yeah, for sure.
that's one of our calling cards. Is when me and Al is like a lot of times you go and see what we watch and what we review, and you're going like, "What the hell is that? What are they watching? Never heard of that."
Yep.
And so I'm going okay. I'm going like okay, I'm going to do that. Of course, you take a great risk in doing that because you might watch something it might be poo poo. You got because you don't know because
Yep.
there's nobody out there to give you any sort of heads up. Like,
Oh yeah.
wow,
I've
is this gonna be a good movie or is it gonna be a bad movie?
I've
Well,
definitely
there's
had my
no,
fair share for sure.
yeah, and you don't know, but you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna do it anyway, and gamble. So I do that, and I watched this movie called The Wendigo. I can't begin to tell you how bad that movie was. Um, that was just beyond belief. Uh, I watched it because I had there's a young lady and her husband. They did the special effects on it, the makeup on it.
Hmm.
Easily, easily the best part of the movie. I mean, easily. I mean, it's just like, damn, that's really cool. They did a nice job. But
Yeah.
their budget was probably like the price of a Big Mac.
Right. Right. Right.
But they made the most of it, which I can't say for anything else in the whole project. It was just god awful, and I'm going, oh my god, this thing's horrible.
Yeah.
But I did say I was gonna watch it. I did say I was gonna review, so that's what I'm gonna do. And it's like it's horrible. Um, to be Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
glad to see you return to that.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's been a little while. I kind of took a Tubi break for a little while. But yeah, but Tubi's a great source of free movies, and
uh,
so there's so much material on there that like it's endless.
yes, it's like honestly, it really is like it's like an old, it's like it's like going back to the video store. Going
Yeah.
back to when I scroll through it, I feel like I'm back at Blockbuster. Like there's hundreds of movies to choose from, and you don't know which one to pick.
Yeah. Very
You
true. Yeah.
uh, so you just like and their movies are. Whew. See, Gareth says this used to be a quality channel. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
My nemesis.
That sounds like it's throwing down a gauntlet. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We might have to have Gareth come back on here. In fact, I already told him that. I says, I do plan on having you come back. And you know what I'm really happy about? I'll tell you what, and I'm really proud of him for doing this too. Now, the first time I talked to Gareth, and I said, "Hey, come on out to the show. Do the show." He resisted me because he was like, "No, I'm even though he's been on his own channel, but he said that he was really nervous. He says, "I'm nervous. I'm nervous as it is when I talk to the guest I have, and coming on to no, I don't know." But he was, well, he came onto the show. He killed it. He knocked it out of the park. Um, and he turned out to be a really good interviewer. I mean, I when I had mine take I'm taking my break off in November this year.
Mhm.
The last time I took it off was a year ago in August. So I didn't go on at all. My goal was not to go on at all. But damned if Garrett didn't get Matthias Hughes on his show. He interviewed Matthias Hughes.
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking marked. I was fanboying out. I'm like, what the hell? How did he do that? Man, I was like, man, I was like, Gareth is my hero, man. This is awesome. And then he goes, okay, who wants to come up here and ask Matthias some questions? I was like, oh,
But
I couldn't get my hand up fast enough. So I got up there and I got to ask Matthias Hugh a couple of questions. It was awesome. I fanboyed out. I was 58 years old and I was fanboying out because this is amazing. Because I love Matthias Hughes. He's a great villain, one of the best ever.
yeah.
And he can play a he can play a good guy too. Once in a while,
Oh
he's played
yeah.
a good. Yeah, he can.
Yeah.
People
Absolutely.
people sleep on that. Um, so I was like, man, this is awesome. So anyway, I told Gareth that you were coming onto the show. We were talking about that. I says, you do know I'm going to have you come back up. He says, I'm looking forward to it. I was so
There you
happy.
go.
I
There
was
you
like,
go.
this is like there was no trepidation. There was no hesitation. There was like, yeah, yeah, I like that. And I just thought, man, he's really grown. He's comfortable now. He possesses great skill.
He does. He
The
does.
first
He does.
time in many will probably be using that line. Uh,
I'm. I mean, it is a lot. Like because like I interview people too. It
yeah,
is. It is daunting, and it can be it can be stressful, and it can be annoying and all that stuff. So like I get the trepidation, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but but yeah, but he said, yeah, not a problem. I'll be happy to do it. Whereas before, I was like, man, I felt like I was. It's like you see the old cartoon where the guy's in the house and he's being dragged out of the house and he's clawing at the floor like no, no, no. He's like he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to. Yeah. But
Yeah.
now I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Um. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the bat. The chat with the bat. You got your series up and running.
Yep.
Um, really good series. Um,
Thank you.
your last interview with Michael James Bernard.
Yep.
That was really good. That was a really good show. Um, How do you like doing How do you like interviewing people? And what do you look for in a guest when you interview?
I, I just look for interesting people. Really, that's the goal. I want the show to be interesting, and I want people to enjoy the show. So if I think that this particular person will bring that, I'll be more than happy to talk with them. And most people are, most people are have some sort of story that they can tell about themselves or something that they've done or something that's really interesting. So that's kind of what I look for. Um, and I since I do have this kind of weird schedule, sometimes it is hard to schedule these shows.
Yeah. Now
Yeah,
you record most of your shows, right? I mean,
I do, because a lot of times I have to record it at an odd time, or I'm recording at noon on a Tuesday or something. Like it's just something random that like my schedule doesn't really work out with. So I just kind of like, okay, when are you available? Let's see what we can do to work it out.
you had there. Who's been your favorite guest that you've chatted with so far on Chat with the Bat?
Oh man, I all of them. They're all like they're all winners to me. Like I don't know. Like I've talked to some really talented people. I've had Troy Froman from Saved by the Bell. I've had
That guy,
Amanda
that
Winston.
guy,
I've had all kind of people.
that's funny because I caught him on the House of Horrors this past week.
Yeah.
That that guy wasn't saved by the bell. He he wasn't saved. That bell didn't save his ass. That guy's crazy.
He is, but he's very fun, and you never know what you're gonna get with him. And I think that's why I like his a lot, because it's just so like random.
Yeah, he's sitting there going, "Oh, thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate that." Let's see. Hi, Hobbs. The king of the spectacular is here. Um, and oh, you're interviewing Chadwick. That's awesome. Chadwick's a good interview. I
I
need to
will
get.
be, yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
that'll be a great interview. Matthias Hughes. Matthias Hughes was a he's a German. Yeah, he's German,
Hmm.
and he was huge in the 80s and early 90s. Um, God, that
He,
interview with him about
he was usually like the bad guy in movies,
yes,
typically. Yeah.
yes. Um, yeah, he was. God, was he might even be bigger than he might be bigger than Arnold. I mean, physically, I mean, he might be taller. He's a
He
big
might
man.
be. He's a monster. Yeah.
Yeah, he is a big, big. What was it? No retreat, no surrender. There's a scene where Cynthia Rothrock's in it in this one, and she goes to fight Matthias Hughes. She bounces off his ass. She
Yep.
kicks him and she bounces off of him. But yeah, he's a fantastic bad guy. And he could play a good guy. He got to play a good guy once in a while, but most of the time he was just every single martial art movie you saw in the 80s that was US based. Every time they had to have a bad guy or a main henchman, it was always Matthias Hughes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. No, no, no. Though he did fight in one of his movies, I can't remember what it was. Uh, was the movie that where he was the bad guy and Bolo was the good guy, and him and Bolo had the final fight. I don't
Oh,
forget.
I
I
do
can't remember.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, that was good.
mhm.
That was
That was
good.
a
Yeah.
good. That was like when you saw Bolo being the big good guy, you're going like, wait, excuse me, what? Oh shit! Look at Bolo kicking ass. Uh, that was a lot of fun.
Bolo started out as a good guy. Like
Did
his
he
first
really?
movies, he was the Chinese Hercules. So he
Oh
was,
wow, I did not
yeah,
know that.
and then he morphed into the bad guy, starting with Enter the Dragon and whatnot. Yeah.
I used to drive my buddy Romy crazy because we talked about Enter the Dragon, and I said, I says, John Saxon absolutely ruled that movie. He was the badass in that movie. He says,
Okay.
and he says, was Bruce Lee was in the movie. Yeah, but Bruce Lee was getting his ass kicked, and you already know what happened to Jim Kelly. It says, look at John Saxon. He can get a mark on him.
Yeah, yeah.
Bruce Lee got his ass kicked by Han. Got all beat up. And
Things,
there's
yeah.
yeah, and there's John Saxon killing Bolo in 3 minutes. It used to drive him nuts when I sit there with a serious face and tell him that John Saxon, he's the American Bruce Lee. No, he's not.
Funny.
Now you and I, we did a lot of horror on, including in our interview. You and I got to interview Adam Marcus, and later on we got to interview his wife Deborah.
Yeah.
But that was fun. That was really good times. That's two of my favorites.
Yeah, definitely.
We covered Secret Santa. That was
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna come back and do that this year. Find a December and come back and watch that and do a
Yeah,
watch
we should do it. We should do a watch party or something. Yeah.
do a watch party for that.
Yeah.
I actually started doing that. I noticed that you
I
do
saw
watch
that.
parties as well.
Yeah.
Of course, the king of watch parties it's Gareth. Gareth was the first person I knew that did watch parties, and he does them every day. That's his shows. He'll pick up a movie and he'll watch it. And man, watch parties are crazy.
They can be, and I'm actually doing one with him tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, okay. What are you guys covering?
We're watching The Burning, which is one of my favorite slasher movies.
Isn't that the one from the 80s?
Yeah, 81.
Okay, so did you know this? Luckily, I got to hang on to my card, but I was talking about I watched a movie for 31 days called Rootwood, and that was my actual first time ever seeing Felicia Rose in a movie.
Oh wow! You haven't seen
Yeah,
anything with her in it?
I had never seen her before until I saw the movie.
Wow. Okay.
I had always seen I had seen interviews with her. I had seen her posts when she's at her conventions. Here it comes. Here it comes. Casey, what? Hobbs saying good night, folks. Yeah. Yeah. Tell Matt. Say, yeah. This is the guy who just got done saying who's Matthias Hughes. Now he's gonna give me grief about Felicia Rose. I'm telling you. Everybody saying goodnight to Hobbs. No, that was my first time. That was my first time watching her. I was like, and I told that I said this is the first time I've ever seen Felicia Rose in a movie, because I was blown away because everything I've ever seen of her, she seems like the nicest human being. Like she's so sweet. And then I saw her act, and I'm like, holy shit, she's awesome. Because she played the evil, she played the villain, and just an over the top villain, and just I just never would have thought that she would have talked that way. But it was absolutely lovely.
If you like her, check out Scream Test.
Okay. See, Matt
Yeah.
says I'll watch Sleepaway Camp with you at the watch party. Yeah, I would have. I have a copy of Sleepaway Camp. I actually have a copy. I found it at the library. Of course I did, right? But I found, I got that at the library. I just haven't watched it yet. I didn't even think about it, And then I'm sitting there watching Rootwood, and all of a sudden it was like, this is the first time I've ever seen her act. I've never seen her act before, and she's so like, I would not want to run across her in a dark alley at all. Yeah. But back to see, I'm all over the place because we're friends, and it's like there's no structure. There's no structure today, boys and girls. We're just throwing it against the wall here.
It's a literal chat with the bat.
It is. See, Charles Cochran, Sleepaway Camp is garbage. I have heard both. I've heard that I know the twist at Sleepaway. I know the twist.
Yeah, I'm more partial to the 2 and 3 personally, but Yeah.
Isn't that the one with Bruce Springsteen's sister?
Yes. Those are the
Uh,
two I like.
Yes, I heard she was really pretty, if I'm not mistaken.
She's cute. Yeah, she's cute.
Yeah. See, Casey says he loves Sleepaway Camp. See, Matt mentioned Matt, who also a Pugwall, also who does interviews as well. Would love to interview her. That would be dream or a Grail guest. That's a good question for you, Al. Is what three guests are would you like to interview the most on Chat with the Bat?
My number one, and this one is really for me. I would love to interview John DeHart, who's the writer, director, star, everything of Champagne and Bullets, which is like one of the worst movies of all time, and it is absolutely hilarious. And I would love, love, love to speak with him more than like I think anybody on the planet.
Uh, did you aired that? I think you did. Didn't you do a watch party with that? Or
I've done a few videos. Yeah, I've done a review. I've done a watch party. I've done all kind of things, and the watch party has even aired on the B Zone Roku channel a few times. Yeah.
what's the B zone?
So the B Zone is it's a Roku channel that's run by my buddy Chris, and he runs like B movies and B movie type programming all day long, 24/7.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, so I've actually been on his channel quite a few times. And like I said, you have to have a Roku or there is a blog spot link as well. If you don't have a Roku, you can watch it on the web. But it's a really cool channel. They play all kinds of stuff, action, horror, B sports. They show like old XFL games, and it's like all kind of stuff, silent movies. It's just all kind of B movie type stuff.
Okay. Well, that's why I called the B zone.
Well, they call it the B Zone.
Let's see. See, Gareth is like he. I guess when I mentioned when you mentioned Champagne and Bullets, Gareth got sick. Let's see. Charles Cochran says Victor Crowley is the only movie that he liked Felicia Rose in. She was good in that. Let's see. So was Champagne and Bullets worse than the David Heavener movies?
Yes.
But yeah.
So okay, so David Heavener was another Grail guest that Gareth helped provide, and I actually got to speak with David Heavener, which at the time was probably my Grail guest at the time, and just because he's done a bunch of uh, like Z grade action movies starting from the late '80s through like the late '90s, and they're just hilarious. I have just a blast watching them. They're so bad that they're kind of brilliant.
Oh my gosh. I was there for that interview. That guy, I would like to see him and Troy Furman do a movie together.
They did. They did. I actually reviewed it.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. It's called Kill
Oh
Kill
my God.
Overkill is the name of the movie.
Oh my God. I can't. Oh, I don't. I can't even imagine. Did you make it through the whole movie?
I did. I actually did a review. I actually posted it, and that's when Troy Froman actually got in contact with me. It was like, hey, you like my movie?
Hey, there's our good friend Ricky rolling up here. All right. Hey Ricky, how are you? Me and Ricky been doing the real things on Instagram. When I have my insomnia, I'll find weird shit to send them. And I keep on going. How can I make Ricky laugh? So I'll find the weirdest shit on there, and I'll send it to him, and I can hear him. I can hear him laughing of the shit I'm sending them. It's like, okay, there you go. Let's see what else is. Let's see. Matt saying Champagne and Bullets is mega expensive to buy now, at least 80 pounds or more. Holy shit! I'm gonna have to go back. You know what? I saw the review or I saw the watch along, but I didn't actually watch it, so I have to go back and watch that. All right, so
it's about that much in America too.
damn. All right.
Yeah.
What are the other two? What's two other Grail guests that you like to talk to?
Oh gosh. Probably what's his name? I can't remember. Michael. Yeah, Michael Mifune. He's another one that he made one movie and then disappeared. and the movie's terrible. It's called Axum, which I did a watch along with Matt from Pugwall, and yeah, that's another really just hilariously bad movie. That's super entertaining, and I have a nice big long review on that one on my channel as well.
Um, okay, I have a feeling I know who your third one's going to be, but go ahead and give us your third one. I'll see if it's who I think it is.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I have a third one. Man.
Oh, can I suggest one?
Sure. I mean, I have a name in my head. I'm sure I'll never get him, but yeah.
Um, Uh, you gotta try to do Nicholas Winding Ren.
Oh, Refn? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh, I'd love to see you do that.
Well,
Oh,
I actually like his movies. I know you don't particularly care for him.
I don't. I'm not a big Ari Aster fan. In case anybody didn't know that, I don't know. People might not know that I'm not the biggest Ari Aster fan. Uh, uh, um, I gotta tell you, if someone forced me to sit there and say, you have to watch you get to watch Hereditary, or you get to watch any Nicholas Winding Ren movie, I gotta tell you, I'd love Toni Collette. I'd like to see her again and again and again. I never thought I would ever say that, but good God. So like everything every wanted me to they voted him for me for watch along. They voted for me to watch the Incredible Bulk. Now
Yes,
everybody knows that's like the worst movie ever made.
it's
The
pretty awful.
Incredible Bulk. I mean, it's god
Yeah,
awful.
it's pretty awful.
It's the shit.
Yeah.
So I watched before I did that though. I covered a movie for 31 Days of Halloween. I covered it, and then the next day I did the watch along party for the bulk,
Hmm.
and I'm just sitting there watching. I'm like, okay, like I think everybody was suspecting me just to go ape over it. Like, what the hell is this? I just sat there and go like, yeah, all right, this is cute. This is cute. Wait a minute, you're not reacting like I thought you would. Isn't this the worst movie you ever seen? I'm going like, hold my beer because I just got done watching one that was far worse than this, far worse, and I had to review it. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
has there ever been a movie that's just like you just caught that's caught you by surprise with how bad it was? Like you're just like not because you're expecting it to be bad, but it's just bad, and you're like, what the hell? How? What? You ever had any of those movies where it's so bad, it's not even good, it's just horrible,
Oh
and it
yeah,
caught you by surprise?
quite a few. Quite a few.
Um,
Yeah, there's one called Demon Hole, which I cannot stand.
Demon Hole.
Demon Hole. Yeah, Demon Hole. Cannot stand that one. Um, I've actually been like uh, not given, but like, I've been given screeners of certain, and there's actually been one or two I've actually turned down. Like that's how much I was just like I can't review this because I'm just going to tear it apart and just no.
Yeah,
So I just like, sorry guys, can't do it.
it's funny that when Rob from Wild Eye was when I was getting those movies to review, that's how I looked at it too. Um, he sent me 10 movies, and I look and see if I could review at least two. And I didn't really review the other ones. And I told him up front, I says, I mean, you could cut my order in half. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, I'm not going to review some of these movies, because there's no point for me to do it because they're just not that good.
Yeah,
And why do I need to jump on and say anything else? Like I don't want to jump on somebody's movie. If it's a bad movie, it's a bad movie. Uh, and so I get that. I get that. Not jumping on the bandwagon, and like the Wendigo. I had no idea. If I had an idea how bad that movie was, I never would have did it, because there's no point to it, because the movie is so bad that it didn't matter what I say. it's not gonna save the movie. It's just you just feel like you're just ganging up on the filmmaker and the crew. I reviewed it, and I was honest about it. It was a horrible movie, and but the apples were the saving grace of it. I had to look for something good in it. Like, you
Yeah,
try to
yeah,
look for that silver lining.
yeah.
Um, let's see. There's Michael Menard. Uh,
Yeah.
oh,
I
Michael.
love Mark.
Michael must know a few. He must know a few bad ones. I mean, he must see a few. Um, but you know what though? But see, you and I and everybody else who reviews, we're lucky because we're not filmmakers. It's like one of the questions you could ask a filmmaker. You sit there and say, you always say, well, what five directors would you want to shadow? You know, but if you really want to just spark things up, you sit there and say, so what are, in your opinion, who are the five worst directors working today? just to, just to see them go like, uh, next question. Uh, our time's up.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I,
Okay, wait.
I, I would, I definitely
Hobbs,
would.
Hobbs has an interesting question. Well, not question, but my say, how can you predetermine that a movie is going to be bad before you watch it? I did watch it, and that's
Mhm.
how I knew it was bad.
Uh, yeah, yeah. For one, as far as predetermined, for one thing, I mean, sometimes when you do research before the movie, you want to see what other people have to say. So yeah, you go over there and you read a few professional or critics. On IMDb, they do have a section where they have, the viewer reviews, and then they
Mhm.
have the real critics, and you go over there, you get an idea by reading three or four other reviews. You get an idea where the movie's going to go. I don't let that ever influence me because I've watched plenty of movies that people have said have been bad and they've actually been very good, and vice versa. So I never
Oh
take that,
yeah.
you know. Um, but sometimes it's based on a cover. A cover tells me a lot about the movie's budget. Um, the runtime, it tells me a lot too. What I'm going to be getting myself into. The trailers are a lost art. Synopsis, reading the back of a movie and trailers are a lost art.
Oh yeah, big
Um,
time. Oh yeah, that's yeah. Oh yeah, no question. Well, like I said, I do have an actual film background, and I used to make short films, so I do know what it takes to make all this stuff, and it's a lot. So I have a lot of respect for anybody that completes a movie, good or bad. Like it's just because making movies is extremely difficult, insane process. So I definitely know what it's like. I've been there, and yeah, my stuff is horrible. So
um,
so I know.
uh, Hobbs is actually raising a really good question here, and as far as and since we do have a couple of filmmakers in here, in Chadwick and Michael, um, I mean, for me, with Wild Eye, you know, like for me, it was a lot had to do with the covers. The covers were cool. The covers are cool, but a lot had to do with a lot of, like I said, it's a lot of, if you see 10 reviews and nine out of the 10 reviews are going to be bad, and they're from people that you respect. Like for me, um, like Hobbs, um, and Jason Nightmare JM and Joe the Horror Man. I consider them the Wild Eye guys.
Yeah.
They know Wild Eye movies. Um, and I would watch their reviews. I
Mhm.
respected, I kept an open mind, but pretty much for the most part, they were pretty much spot on. I mean, they would actually sit there and say if a movie was good or bad. And it's like if they didn't like it, especially Jason, because that guy likes a lot of movies. I mean, you have to be a bad movie to get on his bad side. Um, and then I could watch that and it would give me, it's like, okay, well, that movie's gonna have some shortcomings. But I go in there looking at it on my own point of view, like, okay, because you and I both review the same thing. Like we do try to look for the silver lining. Um, you always try to you do you I mean, even in the worst of films, you look for the silver lining. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes it does. Sometimes the movie is just so bad that it's just no redemption for it. It's just like,
Mhm.
and then what makes it for me, what makes it worse is when it's supposed to be by a competent director, but someone who, okay, so I'm talking, maybe I'm talking a little bit messy here, but for me, it's Nicholas Winding Refn. I, I've watched four of that guy's movies. I've hated every single one of them. I've hated every one. And I've watched them. I've gone in there with an open mind, and I hated all four. I still got one left. I got one left, and I'm scared to watch it because it's an IFC film, and it also has Mad Nicholson. And I'm like, man,
Mm.
please, he's not going to mess that up. He can't mess that up. Rise to Valhalla.
Well, you see,
He
he apparently Refn is just not is he's not for you. Like it's just some people are just not for certain people.
uh,
And it totally happens.
is there one? Is there someone not for you?
Uh, I don't know. I guess the guy that did Demon Hole. I don't know.
Well, let's. I'm going to ask the chat for that. I'm going to ask the chat that, and except for Michael and Chadwick, because we don't want them to. You don't have to answer this, fellas. But is there a director out there that you give them a chance? Because I tell you, the director, I hear a lot of people talk like that, and they just bury him a lot. And that is uh, uh, Jordan Peele. Oh my gosh, I'm just, they roast him. He's made three movies, and I see people talk about him like he's overrated, and these aren't that good movies, or I don't understand how he's gotten as big as he is. Of course, they play the race card too. He's only getting all this press because he's black. I see that among in our community, people reviewing his films, and I'm like, but they never tell you why the movie's bad. They never go in there and say, "Well, yeah, this movie's terrible because of." All I hear is overrated. Oh,
Right. Yeah.
it's entitlement or it's woke or whatever that bullshit they say. I never really hear anybody break down his movies and saying why they think they're bad. Um,
Right.
uh, let's see, but how about you guys? Is there a film director out there that you just can't, you just won't watch, or if you do watch it, you're holding your breath?
I can I can name you a couple of actors I don't particularly like watching.
Okay.
Tom Cruise. Cannot stand Tom Cruise.
Even with the even in the Mission Impossible movies.
Yep. I've never watched a Mission Impossible movie.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I think I dislike him as a person so much that I can't separate it. Like that's how much I dislike him.
Okay. Okay. We got an answer from let's see, Charles saying it used to be Tony Scott. Michael Menard says, I don't have a director I dislike, but I've heard people bring up names like okay. Yes, I know who that is. Dominic, mostly because they have a unique cinematography style. Are you talking about Dominic? Oh, I can't forget his last name. Um, I know who that is. You're talking about the guy who directed the Thin Red Line. Um,
Terrence.
yeah, Terrence Malick. He
Yeah.
mentioned. Yeah, I see people do that. Um,
Actually, that's one of the things I like about Terrence Malick is his cinematography is insane. Like it's beautiful. Like it's just out of this world fantastic. The rest of it, man. But his cinematography is insane.
Andrew Dominic. I have never heard of Andrew Dominic, but yes, Terrence Malick. I definitely know his work. Thin Red Line's a beautiful film.
Yeah, like I said, it's gorgeous. Like his cinematography is like on point.
See, Hobbs is commenting about the yeah, I don't do I don't do IMDb. I don't, like I said, I don't let anything influence me. Not from outsiders. I will admit that, like I said, like, I don't read IMDb for, I don't let that influence me how I look at a movie. But I do consider some of my peers, like I mentioned before about Hobbs or Jason, when it comes down to Wild Eye movies. I will watch and listen to their reviews, and that will decide. That will help me decide about the movie because I trust their point of view. Like if they say a movie's good, it's going to be good. If they say it's going to be bad, it's going to be bad. Um, so I really do. I'm all right, like with yourself. If you say it's a movie's good, I'm gonna trust that it's gonna be good. I will give it a shot. I'll give it a look. But there's a lot of movies that I got from Wild Eye that you can just look from the cover and you're just going like, no, just it's not gonna work out. Uh, certain directors like I know like Brett Kelly or of course Brett Kelly, Dustin Ferguson, those type of directors.
Mhm.
Um, that's easy. That's really easy. You just know that the movies aren't going to be very good. You hope that they're going to be fun. Mark
Right.
Polonian movies.
Right.
Um, I've watched a few of those. Are they good movies? No, but are they fun? I mean, do they have fun? When he puts humor into his movies, they're palatable, right?
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
can get through it. It's when like to me like the biggest thing Poloni did that make that's just like he takes humor out of his movies like like a cocaine shark. That
Yes.
movie was
Exactly.
not
Perfect
funny.
example. Yeah.
Yeah, that movie was not funny. It was no fun at all. It
No.
was and it
No. It's
all it did
terrible.
was yeah, it made the movie a lot worse because there's no tongue in cheek. There's no self awareness
Mhm.
and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now,
Uh,
so when I do my movie reviews, um, I always give an honest opinion. If I don't like it, I'm going to tell you I don't like it. If if I like something, I'm gonna highlight the stuff I like, but I'm also going to tell you the stuff I didn't like about it. And I think a lot of people enjoy that I do that because I give both sides, and I'm trying to make it fair, and I always try to give my true honest opinion on the movie.
let's see. Our friend Suzanne is here. Hi, Suzanne. It says, "What do you guys think of the movie Killer Clowns?" Um, I love clown movies. If you're looking for in genre, like there's Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's a cult classic. If you're talking about clowns as whole, like there's different clown movies. Um, I'm okay with clown movies. I know a lot of people get freaked out by them. Um, but
Oh yeah,
I
me
love
too.
clown movies. I think I think when they're done when they're done right, they're very fun. Um, let's see. Let's see. Matt is saying Assassination of Jesse James is a beautiful looking film. Yes. They're talking about Terrence Malick. Badlands. The Thin Red Line. Yep.
Now
Uh,
the Thin Red Line, yeah, was a pretty good movie. I actually did like that one.
and see, and Andrew Dominic did Chopper. Oh, really? That's the one with Russell Crowe. Wow. Let's see, Killing Them Softly. I think that was with Brad Pitt.
I think so.
The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Yeah, I remember. I think I picked that up at the library too. I've heard nothing but great things about that. Let's see.
Yeah.
Clown is a great clown movie. Yes. Hi Sue, how are you?
Heard. I've heard.
Um, Now, is there any type of movie or and since I've known you, you pretty much will watch just about anything that I know. But are there some movies that you just won't watch?
Um, I don't like I don't like the stuff with like animal killings and stuff like that's pretty much a hard pass for me. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean, other than that, I'll give anything a shot. You know, um, just the animal stuff. I can't deal with it.
yeah. I have a hard time with I have a hard time with the rape revenge stuff. Um,
Mm, yeah.
when it like when it's graphic, I have a hard time with it. Though I did watch a movie for my watch along that was well, we watched two. We watched one movie we did for the IFC that Haas picked out called The Den.
Hmm.
Holy shit, dude, that movie was bonkers.
I
That
might have
movie
a
is
copy of that
fun.
somewhere.
I
Let
was
me have to
like,
look.
and then I watched the spiritual sequel to it in my 31 days,
Mm.
but it's called well, I'll spoil it, but I won't talk about it. But I'll tell you the name of the movie. It's called Bound to Vengeance. Holy shit!
Mm.
Wow, that could be the spiritual. That could be a sequel.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
yeah, it's a badass as hell. That's I was like, I was amazed. I was blown away. I was like, wow, that's so cool.
Well,
Uh,
speaking of the revenge genre, um, Matt Pugwall 316 and I are going to be doing a video nasty series, and so our first movie is going to be "I Spit on Your Grave,"
the original one.
the original. Yeah.
Yeah, see,
So
I just, what's funny? It's funny. It's like I just can't handle that. Those movies are
yeah,
too.
yeah, and it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. And yeah, it's like it's happening, and you're just like, you know. But yeah, but yeah. So look forward to my thoughts on that one because I have many.
Yeah, I was yeah that movie that I saw that movie when I was 21 years old, and it showed me right away that I have my limitations as a film watcher.
Yeah.
I can watch anything, but there's certain things I just won't watch. Um, I remember I was doing reviews way before YouTube. I was just starting to get into blogging, and I met this publicist who was doing publicity for a company called Brain Damage Films,
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
and
remember them. Yep.
she sent me a movie called Chaos to review. Man, I didn't make it through it. I
Yeah.
was angry. I was angry. I called her up. I said, did you have you seen the movie that you sent me? Did you watch that? She goes, no, I haven't watched it yet. And I said, you really should watch before you send it out. You should really watch the movies that you're publicizing. I was
Yeah.
hot. I was so upset. That movie was so offensive. It was so fucking offensive.
Hmm.
I was, and it was funny too, and it affected me years later. Years later, it affected me because I saw the same actor in Chaos, and he was in a Friends movie. A friend, and he cast this guy, and I'm going like, and I wasn't going to review the movie because I said I told him I said I'm gonna review your movie. You're going to be my first review. You're going to be my first review. And then I got the movie and I saw this guy was in it. And I'm going like, I can't review your movie. I said that guy. I told him my reasons why. I said that guy was in a movie called Chaos, and that movie is absolutely just god awful. He says I can assure you that he's a nice guy. I put my own personal reputation here. He's a nice guy. I says, well, how the hell did he get stuck in a movie like that? And it really to me it's like I don't know. It's like, do you feel like actors? Do you think actors have a responsibility in the parts that they play? I mean, I know there's no such thing as a bad part, but it's just like to me, it's like as an artist,
I
there's
think it.
gotta
I think
it's
it
gotta
depends. I think it depends on what they want to accomplish. So if they want to stay more underground or more extreme, like they kind of probably don't care what they do. Like they'll just do the craziest stuff just to do something. But if you want to make it as a big Hollywood actor, then I think people would be more hesitant. So I think it just I think it depends on the actor,
um,
if that makes sense.
yeah, I do, and I just find myself going like, here you are, you're to me it's like a movie that I watched for a Dollar Tree theater that caught me really by surprise was a movie called Redwood Annihilation. And what really caught me by surprise with that was it was a name actor, like a name actor. He was in Grimm. He was a modern, he's not just an independent guy. He's got a name, and he performed a scene where he has killed a woman and then he's raping her. He's
Mm.
it's necrophilia,
Mhm.
and I was so appalled by that. I was like, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. Still can't actually, that he would actually do that scene. I'm going like, dude, you're not just, some guy off the street they threw in here in the scene that no one's going to watch this movie. Your name is on the cover of this movie, and they asked you to do that. And I'm just thinking to myself, going like, look, I don't mind doing certain things. You want me to kill somebody? Want me to blow them up? You want me to assassinate them, or you want me to throw them off a building? I'm all right with that. But you asking me to put my face on a necrophilia? To me, that's almost like you're putting my career at risk for that, because I don't want that attached to me.
Mhm.
And I was really surprised that he did it. Um, because he, like I said, he has a name. People know who he is.
Mhm.
Um, uh, let's
Yeah.
see. Oh, Charles said he saw Chaos at a local theater.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, froze here for what's it? Let me come back here.
And then we got what was so offensive about Chaos? Is it the acting or the content?
Oh, the content. Yeah, the content was really bad. It was not good at all.
Yeah, I might have to look out for that.
Yeah,
See
that was
what that's all about.
it'll probably be on Tubi. Tubi throws
Because
down
I
some of.
mean, let's see. Wait, I got. I mean, I'm weird. I'll sit and watch and watch Serbian film. So there you go.
Right. Yeah. Let's see. Zan's asking me. Zan's asking Pugwall what he thought of Killer Clowns. Um, and
So my
oh,
my recommendation to you though, Patrick, is to never watch a movie called Victims.
let's see. Zan's asking me what was so offensive about Chaos. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, definitely the content. Definitely the content. Um, and you have to see the director as well. Um, yeah, that movie's just absolutely garbage, Suzanne. There's just no redeeming factors in it. Um, oh, Crash is amazing. Cronenberg's Crash. Are you talking about Cronenberg's Crash, or are you talking about the ensemble Crash? There's two movies with the title. Um, the Cronenberg Crash is
I think she's
amazing.
talking. Yeah, I think she's talking about the Cronenberg one. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That was
that's
great.
amazing.
I
Yeah.
I actually have that on Criterion.
Let's see. Chaos is like Last House on the. Yeah, that's a really good comparison. From
Okay, okay, gotcha.
um, but it's a lot more brutal. And I tell you what, I mean, as far as I Spit on Your Grave, I did see a interview recently. It was a documentary about independent film, and they did interview Camille Keaton,
Hmm.
and listening to her talk about the movie, it didn't change my opinion of it, but it did help soften it a little bit when she was explaining her part in the movie, and how she seemed a little bit more relaxed. She seemed relaxed talking about it, and to
Hmm.
me, that helped me out. It helped my brain out a little bit. Like, okay, she's able to talk about it. She's able to, to discuss it. Um, that sort of helps out a little bit. But I don't need to see a movie like that again.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
let's
So
see.
so so definitely avoid the movie called Victims. It's about this guy who he contracts AIDS, and then he goes around uh like raping all these women, like, and to infect them
Right.
basically. And it's like yeah, it's kind of brutal. Yeah,
Well, I watched Martyrs. That was like I watched Martyrs. I love
love
Martyrs.
Martyrs.
I love Martyrs.
Love, yeah, Martyrs is great. Yeah,
Martyrs was really good.
yeah.
Um, and I saw it on Tubi. I was actually going to include it on my 31 days, but it got taken down from Tubi. It'll come back, but
Yeah.
Well, I won't be able. And that is Megan is Missing. Now I've heard that
Mm,
movie really brutal too, but I wanted to watch that for my 31 days, but they didn't have it, so I'll have to wait. Uh,
hmm.
uh, See, Camille sees it as a feminist. She also married the director. Yes, the director, and she also did the direct sequel with the same director, and that starred Jamie Bernadette.
Yes, and I tried watching that, and it is terrible.
Now, is it terrible for the violence, or is it just
No,
terrible? Is it terrible?
it's just a terrible movie. Like it's so poorly made that it's yeah. I couldn't
I'm,
even
I'm,
make it through the whole
I'm,
thing.
I'm really surprised too because Jamie Bernadette is a really good actress.
Yeah.
Um, and I had actually heard stories from the set about that movie. Someone who was inside um, was telling me stories about it, and said it was really rough, rough set.
I can
Um,
imagine. Yeah, I can
yeah.
imagine.
Uh, let's see. Charles says that Crash is his favorite Cronenberg. Crash is brilliant. I would still say my favorite Cronenberg is still Scanners. Um, all right, I'm gonna suck your brain dry. All right. You can't go wrong with Michael Ironside, baby.
No, no, Michael Ironside was the man.
Oh, definitely the man. Let's see. Let's see. Camille, let's see if I miss anything here. All right. So yeah, what's the most extreme movie you guys have seen in the chat? I'm sure we're gonna get a ton of answers for this one. What's the most do you consider that when you watch a movie? Like, would you watch, like, I know you're gonna be doing I Spit on Your Grave, and I don't know how people see that now. Do you think people see that as a tame movie now compared to some of the movies that we've gotten? Do you think that movie still holds up as far as the level of depravity and
I
violence?
I think it definitely still holds up. And it's what 45 years later now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's aged pretty well. I think. Because it's still creepy and it's still cringy and you still feel it when it's happening. So I think
Hmm.
it's still good. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that gets me too is what because it really got me was the fact that for her, she got revenge all right, and she definitely messed them all up, but it was all rushed. She killed everybody like it probably condensed time. It took her probably like 10 minutes to kill everybody, but her scene where she gets assaulted, it lasts at least a half hour. And that was like
It's almost
that seemed to go on forever.
yeah.
And but I'm going like, wow, if you're gonna do that to somebody, let them have the equal amount of time to get the revenge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, let's see. The other crash uh, was one of the worst best pictures ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the ensemble
Agreed.
one. I didn't
Yeah.
see that one.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Uh, I did. I think the last time I saw it, I know there was another movie that came out either the year before or the year after called Traffic. That movie had was the same sort of deal with a huge ensemble cast. That movie was really good.
But yeah, say that one was good though.
That was the first time I saw Benicio del Toro. Like,
Okay.
did you ever see the movie? Did you see Sicario?
I have not. No.
Man, there's a scene in there that's just yeah, yeah, it's justice.
Gotcha.
It's absolutely justice. It's like it's absolutely stone cold brutal,
Hmm.
but you're sitting there going like, there's probably one thing I probably wouldn't have done in that scene. But otherwise, it was like a perfect revenge scene. It's
Mm,
it's, it's amazing. Uh, if anybody's seen Sicario, you know the scene I'm talking about.
yeah.
Charles mentions Evil Dead Trap. Um,
That was
wow,
pretty crazy. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. It's a Japanese, yeah, crazy little Japanese movie from the late '80s.
they do some crazy. They've done some foreign films. They've done some, of course, like we're talking about a Serbian film, Martyrs. I mean, the French seem to really ramp it up.
Yes, I actually love the French extremity movies. I actually love those. Yeah, they're all like wacky and gory and disgusting, and yeah,
I sent a copy of I had a spare copy of Titan, and I sent it on to Hobbs. I sent it to Hobbs. I'm going like, I don't know if he's going to like this or not, but I'll send it to him anyway. So I sent it to him, and he reviewed it, and he liked it. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
let's see. Kevin is here. You've already mentioned some of the more messed up films I have watched, but 100 Days of Sodom was pretty messed up. And there's a German film called The Angel's Melancholia. Yes, I've heard of the 100 Days of Sodom. If I'm not mistaken, I think that one actually got a Criterion release. If I'm not mistaken.
It does. I have it right over to my right.
Wow. Yeah. Um, let's see. Inside is still my favorite horror film of the new century. Yes, I've heard of that. I know
Yeah.
they did an American version of that film. That you can't do an American version of a film like that. I know
No, and
they try to do that with Martyrs, and I
and
hear that was just
it,
garbage.
you can't even watch it. It's that bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Americans, they just don't know how to pull the trigger. They don't know
No.
how to pull the trigger. I mean, they always hold back because like I can't go that far. It's
Mm-hmm.
like but that's what makes the movie so great. I mean, if it's a good movie. I mean, if it's not just for the sake of being, it's not being gratuitous for gratuity's sake.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I would still like to. I had the copy of Inside, the American version. I bought it because I had Laura Harring in it, and I like her. Um, let's see.
Now, the
Uh,
craziest movie I've seen lately is a movie called River of Fundament. It's a 5.5 hour. It's in three parts, and it's about this guy's funeral, and like all this crazy stuff. Like he comes back as a ghost, and but he comes out of the sewer through a bunch of actual feces and stuff, and it's ridiculous, ridiculous.
see, to me, it's like, is there any redeeming value in watching it? Just to be gross, just to be gross. Like my goal is to make people get upset. My goal is to make people get, to gross them out. My goal is to shock them. But why can't you do both? Why can't you do that and make a good movie at the same time?
Right.
It seems like they forget that, and a director will forget that, and their desire to make a shocking film or a gross
Mm-hmm.
film, they'll forget to put the quality of the film. You could have both. I mean, the 100 days, 120 days of Sodom is as much as that movie is really rough. You also know that it's a good movie. Criterion's not going to just put out anything.
It's well
Antichrist,
made. Yeah.
Antichrist is another movie that's really out there.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, Anybody seen Taxidermia? Never seen anything like it. Oh, okay. We already know what that movie's going to be about.
I've heard about it. I've not seen it though.
Now, the one I heard about, and the one I wanted to watch, is I heard about that Megan is missing. I heard the
Mhm.
ending of that is absolutely just like,
Yeah, I've actually been on the lookout for that one as well.
yeah. They said that one's over a cliff, crazy.
Yeah.
Um, and then there's I don't know if I should name all these shockingly bad movies or shockingly shocked movies, but I guess it comes to a point where if you make a good movie like that, I mean, if you make a movie like that, it's to try to put the quality into the story as well. Just
Right.
don't try to shock value people. Um,
Like Martyrs and stuff like that. Like it's a good movie.
Martyrs is a very good
But then
movie.
it has all this crazy stuff in it. That, yeah,
Okay, another good movie, and even though I just dreaded watching it, and I still do because I don't know if I'll ever watch it again. I'm not sure, but I did watch, and God, I did tolerate the Human Centipede. The Centipede was interesting.
Yeah.
Um, you
I
know,
I actually really liked the first one. I cannot stand the second or the third one.
the only thing that made me a little bit mad about watching the first Centipede was you ever watch a movie? You ever watch a movie like, and then you watch it, and in some of the movies that you thought you liked, like for this one, it's like when I hear people talk about Silence of the Lambs, I
Mhm.
sort of laugh now because I'm thinking like, oh my god, you have no idea. You have no idea. You think Lecter's bad? Oh shit, you have no idea. Like
Yeah.
it makes that movie, and what obsessed me though is the fact that I love that movie. I love Silence of the Lambs. I think it was, when I watched it, I was like, damn, this is so cool. This is, good, But then I watched the Centipede, and then I can't come back to the Silence of the Lambs because Silence of the Lambs has no more power because the Centipede was just that much better.
Hmm.
And it is, and this might seem blasphemy, but the Human Centipede's a better movie.
You think? Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah,
I might have to try to watch those back to back. Yeah.
yeah. I think the Centipede is I think the Centipede is better than Silence of the Lambs for me. Yeah. I know a lot of people say you're crazy, but no, I think if you really I think if you really go back and watch it real carefully, and don't think about the centipede part. But if you really watch that movie, it's really good. I mean, the acting's really good. I mean, those are all people. They're all. I think all the actors, except for the doctor, that was their first movie. They were all that was
Hmm.
like their first role. I think the
Yeah.
Japanese guy. I think he was a comedian over in Japan. He was a known comedian. He was the biggest name. He's actually the biggest name of the entire cast, but we just didn't know who he was over here. But
Right. Right.
the two girls in it, that was their first role.
Hmm.
But holy shit, it's just an amazing movie. Um, see, Charles says love the second Centipede. And Charles says never liked Silence. Yeah, I like Silence of the Lamb, but I wasn't blown away like everybody else was. I mean, I like it a lot, but man, after I saw the Centipede, that ruined it for me. Centipede was just, but it's not one of those movies I rush out and watch, right? Um,
Yeah.
so what are some of the movies in your collection? Have you watched every movie that in your collection? Because you have
Nope.
a huge wall there. You have a
I
huge
have
wall.
not. I have about three stacks right over here from the floor to about yay high. That I've not watched any of them yet.
Uh, what do you think about the physical media going out of Best Buy and other stores? Do you have any thoughts about that?
I do. So my argument is that I haven't been to a Best Buy to buy a movie probably in at least 5 years. At least. I don't go to Target anymore. I don't go to any of these places anymore to buy media because you can't find what you want. So to me, it's been dead for years. Um, so it changes nothing for me, really. Like, and I think in the grand scheme of things, uh, people that have large collections, like so, we have other means of getting it. It's not like it's gone. It's not like it's gone away. It's still there. You might have to look for it for a second, but it's there. And I think all these people freaking out about Best Buy and all that, whatever. Like, yeah, yeah. I mean, if you go to Best Buy and get stuff, cool. But like, it hasn't been. It's been quite a while for me.
Um, yeah, me too. I think I've only gotten one movie out of Best Buy in the last 5 years myself, and that was Hunter x Hunter. I was shocked to see it. I was shocked to see it because my Best Buy they had shelving, but they had hardly anything on it. And
Hmm.
I'm looking at it. There's no, doesn't seem to be anything there at all. And then I saw it tucked in there behind another movie, and I'm like, oh shit! All right, I've been looking for that. And that's another movie. Hunter x Hunter is a wow. That's a badass movie. That
I've
is
heard
a
good things about
wicked.
that one.
That
Yeah.
is the ending of that movie is man. I I I was just I honestly I was just sitting there watching it, and I'm just going like I didn't know how to react to it.
Yeah.
I really truly didn't know how to react to it. I'm like that is crazy. Uh, that's a that Hunter x Hunter is a fantastic film. Fantastic film.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. Hey, Mike, how are you? Mike from Did you see that? You never heard of Al Lucard, aka the Bat? He's and Matt says that you're great, and his reviews and interviews are the best. You know what? I'm gonna throw down with that. I'm gonna throw down you and Gareth. You guys have definitely upped yourself on the interview game. That's for sure. You guys have you guys have knocked that out of the park.
Yeah, yeah.
I like the variety you guys have too. Um,
Well, I'm at coming up this Sunday. I have my very first non-movie guest. I have a musician coming on.
yes, that's right. That's
So
right.
should be
Wow,
pretty cool.
that's gonna be an interesting interview.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that because I was actually thinking to myself, I don't know how I could have pulled that off myself. I don't know if I would have been able to pull that off. So I'm interested in seeing how you do. But I love interviewing musicians. They're fun.
yeah. They definitely can be for sure.
See, Kevin mentions the Best Buy near him shut down 3 years ago. It says as long
Hmm.
as Dollar Tree doesn't stop carrying movies. You know, I was just commenting about that too yesterday, Kevin, and I don't know if Dollar Tree's going to stop or not. I guess we won't really know till until November. Um, if
Yeah,
they don't release movies for Black Friday, then I think it's safe to say that they're out of the movie business. Um, and I think the only major store after that will be Big Lots,
yeah.
Dollar General, as far as brick and mortar stores. We have local Meyer stores that carry physical media too, but the shelves there are shrinking. They're starting to shrink now.
Well,
Um,
near me, I have a place called Second and Charles, which has
yeah,
tons of movies and stuff. They're fantastic. I love Second and Charles. Got a couple Dollar Trees. Got we even have a Walmart that still has a fairly decent section. Shockingly,
wow. Well,
and yeah,
people shop, people buy,
yeah,
people, people. You know, I guess it must be a regional. It might be regional.
it might be. It might be. Yeah,
Um, I mean, we haven't lost any stores around here. As far as them being close, we haven't lost any stores like that. But the closest Best Buy is it's about 10 miles away. But they've been for like I said the last couple of years. There's been nothing there on the shelves. There's no reason to go there.
yeah.
Um, so what's coming up on your channel besides the interview with the musician? What's his name? Can you tell us a little bit about who the guy is?
Yeah, yeah. His name is Mr. Kane. He's the vocalist and guitarist for a band called Psycholand. Who he actually contacted me and he was like, "Hey, check my stuff out. If you like it, I can come on for an interview, whatever." And so I was like, "Yeah, dude, let me check it out." So I listened to it and I'm like, "All right, this is pretty cool." So I contacted him back. I'm like, "Yeah, dude, you want to come on? We can chat about your band and everything that you do." And he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So it's sort of like an industrial metal, kind of Ministry meets Rob Zombie type of deal.
I'm so yeah. When you mentioned Ministry, I was so there when I heard that because I'm like I love Ministry,
Yeah.
and I got to book one of their offshoots called Pigface, and I
Oh yeah. Okay.
yeah, so I got to book them back at the Oasis days. They're that's a crazy crew. That's good
Yeah.
music too. So I'm looking forward to looking forward to watching and or listening to your interview. That's what I love about the interview game here on the tube is you don't have to watch a interview in order to enjoy it like this interview. Do you think that helps? Do you feel that helps a lot knowing that you can do an interview and people don't necessarily have to watch it in order to enjoy it? So you know, unlike a watch along or you know or I guess I just find the interviews you know like you can it truly is like a podcast a situation where you can do an interview with a gentleman you can the chat doesn't have to be there. You can listen to it as you're driving home or at work. Does that help you when you come out to try to find the guests that you have on the show? As far as how am I saying this? Oh boy, I just lost my thought. That happens a lot. That happens when you get old. But do you like interviewing? Do you like the idea when you do an interview? it can be enjoyed both visually and audioly. Does that help? Does that help? And how many?
Yeah. Yeah, because you can put it on in the background and still get all the information. Now, on my interviews, like I said, no, most of the time I do record them and air them later. So I usually edit them. So I add pictures and I add videos and I add all the stuff to it just to kind of, bring it a little bit more to life. I guess you could say. So I try to, for those that are watching visually, I try to make it appealing as well, if that makes sense.
Uh, oh yes, yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, man, I think so too. When I talk to people and I mention about doing the show, if I invite them on as a guest, I tell them, this is, it really, what I really don't like about the tube though is, like, to me, it's like anybody who clicks on your channel should be, you should get a credit for a view, whether they signed into it or not. You still should get a credit,
Yeah,
that sort
yeah,
of, because I see the views I get, and I know there's probably is 4 times as many people have clicked on it than what I'm getting to see.
hmm
Um, so that's a little bit of frustrating, but otherwise, I tell people, like, if you can't watch it, you don't necessarily need to watch it. You can just put it on and do whatever you need to do.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
uh, Kevin mentions, I wish it was easier to do watch alongs on YouTube the way you can on Discord. I understand why you can't, but I really wish you could. You know what though, Kevin? I don't know why they don't. I hear so many. I We watched, on the Midnight Society. We watched the movie, the Killer Shrew.
hmm
The giant Gila monster,
Yeah, yeah,
and that was public domain, and we were watching it. It was fine until the guy started singing the song, and all of a sudden we lost our stream.
yeah.
I can't tell you how utterly maddening that is when I see all over YouTube all these copyrights, all these shows being shown on
Oh,
different
yeah.
channels, clips and whole episodes. And I'm like, how are they able to do that and we can't do that?
hmm
I don't understand how that works.
Yeah,
Um,
I say YouTube does not make any sense whatsoever.
no,
Mm-mm.
no. Um, well, you're getting close up to 700 subs. I think you'll definitely reach 1,000 in early part of 2024. Are you looking forward to being monetized?
I mean, if I am cool, if not, that's cool too. That was never really a goal of mine, to be honest. Like that's not.
Yeah,
It just wasn't my. I was just like, man, I'm doing this for fun. I like talking about movies. I like interviewing people. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't do it.
right, right.
So
Mm.
I mean, I'm getting more enjoyment just doing it. Really, if I can somehow be monetized, cool. If not, I'm okay with that too.
Let's see. Matt says, I've not got my head around that Discord. Can you stream copyright content and see it? I don't know.
Well,
On
apparently,
Discord, our
yes.
Discord, you can. Wow. I guess on Discord you can, but you can't on YouTube. So I don't, you know what? I think it's more of a YouTube thing than I think, because, why would a company sit there and say you can't show clips of Godzilla on YouTube, but it's okay on Discord? I don't think a company would do that. They would come down on everybody. So
You would
that
think.
tells me that it's mostly YouTube. And I have a feeling the bigger the channel is, the more likely you're probably able to get away with it. I think that's what I see. I see bigger channels getting away with a lot
A
more than
lot more.
small channels do.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. They definitely they don't like us very much.
Let's see. Matt mentions, your approach to YouTube is one of the reasons he got into your channel. Yeah, it really seems to be, growing now. Your channel seems to be growing a lot. Like, I popped in there for your interview with Michael James Bernard, and man, it was a solid interview. Yeah, you're getting a lot. You're starting to get a crowd now. Do you see it growing? Are you a little surprised how fast it's starting to pick up for you?
I'm pleasantly surprised. Yeah. And I mean, and this is why I do it. I do it to get these people exposure and to open, to get these people out there to people that may not know them. And that's why I really like doing the interviews and stuff, because it exposes different people to a new audience.
It really is. I mean, I feel like whenever we do our interviews, Matt, yourself, Gareth, Stephen from House of Horrors, uh, I feel like we are given a voice to, we're giving a voice to a lot of people who normally don't get the press. Like they don't get a chance to talk about themselves. I sit there and I ask a lot of folks. I ask them after we're done. I'll sit there and say, "Have you ever been?" I find myself going like, "Have you ever been interviewed before?" And it's sort of shocking how many people have not been interviewed. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
to me, it's like I'm looking at their movie database page, and they got like 30 movies out there, and you're thinking, "Oh man, this is old hat for them." This is just another interview. And then you sit there and you ask them, and all of a sudden it's like, "No, this is my first time doing this." That all of a sudden you feel a lot of responsibility, to make sure that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
actually
and the pressure's on, and you're like, oh
yeah,
crap, yeah.
yeah, the pressure does. Have you ever felt pressured in interviewing anybody? Has anybody ever intimidated you as far as
Before every single interview. Yes,
really?
I'm nervous. I'm like 20 minutes right before. I'm like, I just got to breathe and just kind of like chill out for a minute. Then I
It
freak
is.
myself out.
Do you find it easier to talk to people who are fellow tubers more than like an actor or director? Is
Yeah,
it more?
kind of, because they have a similar story to mine, kind of thing, and they've kind of got into it for the same reasons, and yeah, it does make it a little bit easier. Uh, but overall, though, all the people I've talked to have been really fantastic. Like they're
Yes.
just super nice and just very giving and very, just super supportive, and so I've been quite lucky.
Now, I'm not sure if you had anybody yet, bail on you or last minute cancel on you. Well, that could be a whole playlist for me. Um, but how do you, have you had a last minute cancellation?
I've last minute canceled because I couldn't do it, or for some
Huh?
reason or another. I've done that twice actually, but including the guy from Psycholand. It was actually, I was supposed to talk to him last month, and I
Oh,
actually had to postpone it because my internet was out.
oh, okay,
Yeah, so I mean, it's always a valid reason. It's not like I'm just not doing it, kind of thing. But
right.
no, I haven't had anybody cancel on me, not yet.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
There's Mr. Bones, one of our resident boutique ballers. Have you heard about that? Boutique ballers?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Bones and Wes.
yeah.
I keep on thinking those two guys should do a show called Boutique Ballers, and they could do all the Severin and Vinegar Syndrome and Code Red. I mean, those guys are dialed in to what's coming down the road. I
Yeah.
dig it.
Heck
I
yeah.
dig it.
Yep,
Let's
yep.
see. Let's see. Kevin mentions, well, still legal if you stream copyright material on Discord, but uh,
Yeah.
it's, I'm not making fun of you guys at all, man. I mean, me and Bones, man, we're very much the similar collector. Bones is probably my spiritual brother when it comes down to collecting, because him and I had the same sort of we have the same sort of collecting, mentality. So, but he just gets a little bit more cooler stuff than I do. That's all. Uh,
Hey,
what are you looking? What your Grail movies are you looking for? I mean, if you're when you go out there to Second and Charles, what do you look for in a movie, as far as blind buying goes? Do
I always like to find like weird random things. I've either never heard of it, or like, just something bizarre. Like those tickle me for some reason. But like I would love to find a copy of Axum on DVD. Like that would just blow my mind.
Uh, let's see. You must not watch Al Halls. He should be on the ball list. He buys boutiques too. Do you buy boutique stuff, Al? Do you like?
I
I know
do.
you said you have Criterions. Do you buy Criterions from Criterion, or are those just out in the wild?
I usually either do it from Criterion or the Barnes and Noble sales. They do Barnes and Noble sale twice a year.
Yeah, you're a baller.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, Bones, you made your point. He's a baller. Yeah, well, I do that too. I do that too. I'll wait for that Barnes and Noble sale, and then I allow myself to get one item because I have a gift card. I get a gift card like once a year, and I save it for the Barnes and Noble sale.
Yeah. Yep.
And they always have the like, okay, what's the cheapest thing? Because that's all I can't because Criterion's are like $40 at $40.
Yeah. Yeah.
$40 at Barnes and Noble.
That's why I always wait for the sales. They're 20.
Oh, I'm just like, that's the first time I walked inside Barnes and Noble, and I went over to this is before I got into movie collecting, and I went over there and I picked up a Criterion movie. I didn't know really what it was. I just looked at it going like, I said I knew the movie because it's an older movie, and I'm looking at the back of it. It says $40, and I would tell Lori Ann, I sit there and go like, they want $40 for a movie. They want $40 for this. She'd be so entertained by my reaction. Like I'm like, who? And I remember the first time I picked up a Criterion and I saw the $40, and I asked the clerk, I said, do people actually buy this at $40? Oh yeah, they'll you'd be surprised.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's also when I buy all the box sets and stuff too. Like I have the Godzilla Criterion, which is
Right.
normally like $200 or something. So yeah.
Yeah, how's the quality of that? I held off on buying that because I just found myself going like, man, I've seen all those movies. I got them on all these different public domain ones. A lot of the kaiju monsters, especially the Gamera ones. In fact, I got my collection of Gamera. I got from Bones. He sent me a collection of Gamera movies, and I,
Mhm.
and they got. I don't know how much he paid for it, but I know that I paid $10 at Target for the new trilogy. I think there's only one Gamera movie I don't have. I think I don't have the
Oh,
last.
okay.
Uh, uh,
That
but
that's cool.
I just like I saw that and I'm like, I don't know if I could justify $200 for Godzilla movies. I just like I'm so used to seeing them everywhere, and I'm just like I just don't know if I could justify that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
No, the quality on that Criterion set's fantastic.
oh, I bet, I
Yeah,
bet.
they're good. A bunch of special features. Stuff. Just giant book that comes with it. Like it's neat. It's neat. And then with Gamera, I have the Arrow set from Gamera, and
Right.
those look phenomenal too. So
Man, that arrow set is so expensive.
yeah, I actually caught that on sale too. Like I think it was like 60 or 70% off or something. So I think I paid like $20 for it.
Thank you for coming out, Zan. We'll be back tonight at 8 o'clock with JoJo Monkey. She'll be here at 8 o'clock. So what's coming up for your channel after your interview with Psycholand? Who do you got coming up as far as the interviews go, and what do you got planned for your channel?
Well, right now, like I said, we got Psycho Lane that's going to air on Sunday. And I have Chadwick Whitmire coming on
Right.
sometime in November. I'm not sure exactly when. And that's all I have for guests at the moment. I'm actually kind of gonna chill on Chat with the Bat for a little, probably till probably January. I'll probably try to amp it up again. Um, because of the holidays and whatnot. But
Right.
but yeah, I got a bunch more reviews coming for you, some watch alongs, all that kind of stuff. I have a few movies that have been sent to me, screeners and stuff. I'm gonna watch those and try to get those reviews out. So yeah.
Yeah, I gotta introduce you to my friend Ray. I gotta get you on the Cinephobia tip. You definitely to review those.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely. Say bring it on. I'll watch anything. Like I said.
man, Cinephobia, man. That Ray is, yeah, at the boutique, and yeah, I'll talk about it all day long. That guy has a phenomenal eye. He's probably of all the independents, he's probably to me has the best eye. More than Rob, more than whoever, more than anybody. That guy knows. He just knows the right cinema. There is a movie that I'll be properly reviewing in January called The Glass Table. I saw that. He sent me a screener of that. Um, yeah, that had me at the edge of losing my lunch.
Oh, nice.
I have not had that feeling in years, but that movie is so fucking disturbing. It's so disturbing, and it's amazing movie. Um, and Yeah, I'm gonna do a formal review for that in January. The best movie I've seen this year. Yeah, what's your best movie you've seen so far this year?
Oh goodness. Oh, let me look. Let me see. Because I actually have a log of all the movies I've watched this year.
Yeah, I kept mine too on my
Let me
letterbox.
see. That's a good question. And
See,
I was actually thinking about doing a video like that. Like, hey, what's like the top 10 so far I've seen? Yeah, kind of thing.
Echoes mentioning how does one get screeners? Always wondered. God, I don't even remember how I got on screeners. Um, I think that was just I can't really remember how I got hooked up with the screeners. I don't really watch a lot of screeners because I like hard copies, but
Hmm.
I got the hard copies from I got hard copies from Bayview because because of Peter, and I get hard copies from Ray from Cinephobia because I've been reviewing his movies for years when he owns Art Exploitation.
Hmm.
I was reviewing him for years, and the other I had Warner Brothers Archive, but the guy who was servicing me, he got laid off, and that ended for me right there. Um, who else did I work with? And of course, Wild Eye, Rob quit servicing me because I was honest about the reviews. He hated my reviews because I was always sitting there going
And
like,
that, that's always a fear of mine too. Like these people send me the stuff, and like I'm gonna review it, and I don't like it, and they're not gonna send me anymore. But I'm gonna be truthful. If I don't like it, I'm gonna tell you.
right. Right. I have no trouble with that. I mean, it's funny. So I actually said, I actually wrote to him because I wanted to see this movie called Ouija Mummy.
Mm.
So I wrote to him and says, I'd like to see a copy of Ouija Mummy if I could. And I think that was that was probably the straw that broke the camel's back. And he actually wrote back. He actually emailed me back. Says fuck no. He says fuck no because all you because all you're going to do is crap on it. And I said, well, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not going to say I'm going to crap on it or not. And then, and then someone sent me a copy of it and I watched it and I emailed him back and I said, you were right. I was wrong. You're right. You were
I,
right about a Ouija. You were right about Ouija Mummy. And that was it. That was it. He just quit.
like,
He quit
all right.
sending me. He quit sending me stuff. And I was thinking, wow, did he really hate my reviews that much? And then I found out the real reason why he cut me off. And boy, I was pretty furious about that. I
Hmm.
was really pissed off.
Uh-oh.
Let's see.
To go back to my favorite movies so far this year, um, my two favorites are is one called Teddy Told Me To, and another one called Bliss of Evil. They're both really, really solid, good movies.
Uh,
Teddy Told Me To is from Plan 10 Pictures, which is owned by Tom Devlin, the makeup effects guy.
okay.
And it's his directorial debut. Um, and it's about this like these workers at a local haunt, and uh, one of the guys is a killer, so he goes around killing everybody in the haunt. Really solid, fun slasher movie. And Bliss of Evil is about this. It's an Australian movie about a band. They're a rock band, and they get stalked by a person from their past while they're trying to record in their studio.
I take it was the roadie who did it.
Not necessarily.
Echo mentions ITN. Echo, if I was you, I would email ITN. Go to their website, go to the contact me area, and write to them and send them 2 or 3 of your reviews. That's how I do it. If I
Yeah.
see because the worst they can do is tell you no. Um, but I would go to a record company. That's how I did it first. That's how I did it for the first. But I would go to ITN and send them a letter. Tell them that you have a YouTube channel and you do film reviews, and send them a couple of your reviews, and
Yeah.
so they can take a look at it. And then yeah, that's how I would do it. Bayview's the same way. Just contact Bayview and just say, hey, I'm a movie review channel, and not saying that everybody will get accepted. Lord knows I got, all the films shot me down, and now they're going out of business.
There
Coincidence?
you go. See that?
Coincidence? I don't think so.
I don't think
Uh,
so. Don't mess with the cheetah.
That's right. Don't fuck with the cheetah. Let's see. Send me the good movies. Send the bad ones like It's not the worst movie. Echo. I've seen worse this year. The Incredible Bulk is not the worst movie I've seen this year. I've seen worse. Like the Wendigo. Let me tell you. I could. Oh, what? It's on Tubi too, by the way. If you guys want to go watch it.
I'm totally
Um,
gonna watch that now.
oh my God, I'm telling you, you'll come back there and say, why? Why'd you do that? Why'd you send me over there? All right, boys and girls. We're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna let Al. Did you have to work today, or today was your day off?
No, I was actually shockingly off today.
Wow. Yeah, that's a shame. That's one bad thing about your promotion, though. Is that you are what do they call you, a troubleshooter? You go to different branches, right?
Not anymore. I'm actually a librarian at one of the branches.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
So, but do your days off change, or do you get because you guys are open on Sundays till what time? 6?
Till 5 local time.
But you have to stay there for a couple of hours afterwards, right? To put everything back.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah. You either come before or stay after. It's kind of
I know. I meant to see. Charles's favorite film so far has been Infinity Pool, with Mia Goth. I heard that was really good as well.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Well, I still have yet to watch Beau's Afraid, so I can't sit there and say that The Wendigo will be the worst film I watched this year. Right now, it's number one, but I haven't watched Beau, which I have a feeling is going to be in my number one.
You never know.
Oh yeah, actually, I sort of do, and that's why I'm not dreading watching it. I've heard that movie is garbage, but I'm still going to watch it. I have I have 45 A24 films now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Last thing before we go, if you're into this, the American Ninja is being released on 4K Blu-ray for the first time on Halloween. Thoughts on that? And we'll close the show on that. Did you pre-order your?
I've already ordered it, baby. Yeah, hell yeah, 1 and 2. Heck yeah,
Oh my
dude.
God. Who knew that doing martial arts films? I'm doing more of them too. I've actually reviewed like 13 martial arts films so far.
Oh,
People
there's definitely a market for it, and yeah, I should probably join you and do some as well.
Yeah, because I got asked to do more.
Yeah.
Someone came over and asked me to do. Can you do more? Can you do more martial art reviews? I'm like, wait a minute, you're asking me to do I'm a martial artist. I just know what I like. But I said, yeah, you got to do more of them. I'm like, okay, all right. So,
Well, that's the other thing too. If anyone has any suggestions on a genre or certain movies, or please just let me know. I'm willing to do all kind of things. So
all sorts of things.
yeah, all kind of movies.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Bones, for posting the mighty Al Lucard's information. That also will be down in the description box below. Um, did we discuss a society return? We have been talking a little bit about it. We have an idea what we might want to try to do.
Something's
Yes,
coming.
we are.
Something will be coming.
Yes, something will be coming. The society is not dead. The cat and the bat are still alive. We just got to find the time and to figure out what we're doing. Um, and and hopefully we'll be back sometime early next year. I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'm going
Yeah.
away from November.
Yeah.
I'm Caspering, totally Caspering. I'm not going to be on for nothing.
Good.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh my God, yeah, I'm
You,
ready.
you
I'm
definitely
ready.
need that. I typically take mine in September. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I need it. I'm so burnt right now. I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay. I think you can only go about a year before your battery starts going dead.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Oh,
about right. That's about right.
yeah. All right, guys. We're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for all coming out for your support. Coming out and supporting our interview with Al. This has been a lot of fun. We're gonna do it again. I feel like I talked way too much on this interview. Didn't let you talk enough, so we'll have you come back and do this again. Tonight we have actress JoJo Monkey will be here with us at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow night we have a roundtable. That's right. We're going to do a 8 questions roundtable featuring 3 podcasters: Dana Kennedy from Para and the Boys, Matt David Breckmeyer from Outrage Overload. I said Overlord. I said that like before. Overload. And then we'll also be joined by returning guest Ross Yeager. He will be here with us as well. He was a Secret Service agent for over 20 years,
Nice.
and he operates the channel up the middle. That's going to be a fun show, and we're going to get a little bit raw, and we're going to have some fun. I don't know what we're talking about, but we're just going to go ahead and talk about it, talk about whatever. You're more than welcome to come by and ask questions or offer your opinions. We'll be on at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, and then next week is our last week before I go on vacation, and we have Dylan Yeager from You Should Have Killed Me playing Ducky. He'll be on the show
Nice.
on Tuesday. Yes, I can't
Nice.
wait for that.
That's gonna be fun.
And Accountant Gregula, our first horror host, will be with us. And the last guest that we have before I go on vacation will be Jeff Clark Jr., excellent actor and screenwriter, and he will be our last guest. And then we are out, and won't see you till December 5th when we have Spooky Kisses. All right, guys, thanks so much for coming out. We'll see you later tonight. Stay right where you're at, Al, and to everybody else, thanks. We'll see you in a little bit.